Good morning. Today is a homily for Monday of the fourth week of Lent, March 23rd. A reading from today. I create Jerusalem to be a joy, its people to be a delight. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and exalt my people. That's a reading from Isaiah chapter 6. First reading for today. Sure joy. Not sheer joy, that means something else. Sure joy, we can be sure that we can have joy in the Lord no matter what the situation going on. Yesterday was Laetare Sunday. Laetare, Joy Sunday, halfway through Lent, okay? Light at the end of the tunnel might be the way we think of it. The rose color is the first hint of dawn in the dark purple sky. There's hope, which brings joy. Laetare Sunday is different than Advent's Gaudete Sunday because Laetare is a more outward expression. Gaudete is more of the inward experience of joy. And notice in that reading, it's talking about God's joy in us. And if we're sharing in God's joy, wow, it has to be deeper. God's joy has to be richer. God's joy has to be so more overwhelmingly better than our joy. So let's share in God's joy, please God. And first of all, understand that joy does not mean pleasure. Joy does not mean happiness. I'd say pleasure is physical. Happiness is emotional, but joy, it's spiritual. Shalom is peace. But that means more than just peace. It means everything's right with the world. It's all good. It's all good. And just resting in that brings joy. Even carrying the cross, sort of see it here, even carrying the cross, Jesus had joy. Obviously, not pleasure. Obviously, not happiness. But joy that he was saving us, that he was showing us the Father's love by loving us himself and thereby doing God's will. That's the wonderful joy that God intends for us. Laetare, joy Sunday. Yesterday, the healing of the blind man. Today, the gospel is about the healing of a royal official's servant. The royal official came to Jesus and asked, please come heal my servant. And Jesus said, you guys need signs. Why are you always asking for signs? Putting the guy off. But the guy said, no, please, come heal my servant. Jesus said, oh, okay. You're more about loving someone than seeing a sign. You want to take care of this guy? Okay, go home. He's healed. And when he got home, he said he was told that his servant was healed. He asked, when did that take place? They said, about 1 o'clock yesterday. And the royal official realized that's exactly when Jesus told him, go home. Trusting faith is what leads us to joy. If we can trust that God's goodness, God's love, God's mercy, God's power are all at work in us, then we can rest in joy even despite lack of pleasure, lack of happiness. Certainly those things describe much about our times right now. We can find little pleasures and little happinesses, but we can enjoy them if we realize the joy of God deeper within us. None so blind as he who will not see. Yesterday was the healing of the blind man. Can we see the world is redeemed and therefore have joy in it? Or do we only see what's wrong with the world? Human beings wondered for millions of years, possibly, thousands for sure, whether we would ever fly. And we can go back to the myth of Icarus in the Greeks, or look at the drawings of Leonardo da Vinci, his flying machines, and people wondered and hoped and dreamed, can we fly? And there were a lot of naysayers. You're being foolish. Hope is one thing, being foolish is another. Hoping in God is one thing, but believe in God, you're foolish. We're hearing people say that. Look at what God's doing to the world. How can you believe in him? Well, once Wilbur and Orville flew, a little over 100 years ago, there was no argument anymore. There was not just a matter of an unfounded hope until the airlines have lost so much business recently, but there were millions of people flying every day. There was no longer a wonder, can we fly? It was proven. One changed life, like the healed official servant, like the healed blind man. One saved life. One changed life from being saved, just like one air flight was all the more that needed said, all the more that needed done. Can we be that hope, that joy for other people by resting in God's shalom, resting not in pleasure and happiness, but really accepting God's joy, making it our own, and sharing it with others?